Okay. Hi guys.
Hi.
You know, like
Hi.
Hi. That's how we're gonna introduce ourselves. 3 points this weekend. Congrats.
Congrats.
We all got 3 points.
Everyone's happy. Yeah.
We all got 3 points.
But you just scored 6 goals.
Still top of the league.
What was the first score?
Say that.
It was a lovely 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
You were behind though, right?
Yeah, from a penalty, and we scored in the 96th minute.
Oh. You guys should stop. You guys should stop accommodating
6-10 to
6 cents.
It's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Everyone's gonna hit 60.
Apologies to all West Ham fans watching.
That's alright, just don't know.
West Ham got the iron. That's what happened.
They got the hammer in.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I never thought I'd see the day that Tottenham and Arsenal are on the same page.
How many of them was in the pop?
Alright, you win. Alright, sorry, welcome to the next roast.
Actually, that's what
You guys, since you guys started that way, you would think they never scored 6. But
I know.
No,
I mean, I ate to stop you, but anyway.
wow.
We're talking about West Ham since we started that way. Let's get into it. That one was actually good. I like that one.
That was a 6 goal deficit. But anyway. I was running. Anyway,
He said, good maths.
it was a mad thing. I'll be real. Alright, as an Arsenal fan, I was watching that game and I was thinking, alright, obviously I enjoyed it. Oh, it was lovely. But I'm actually thinking, right, fight back. Fight back. What is going on? I think from a West Ham perspective, like being objective and being neutral, I'm looking at it and saying, for a Premier League team that's under David Moyes, that's completely unacceptable and despicable behaviour from West Ham. I mean, Kurt Zouma, I don't know if he was injured or whatever the case may be. Is he not West Ham's captain?
You know what I think actually happened?
Pollock leadership.
You know what I think actually happened?
Shambles.
I think the RSPCA gave him back his cat, and he was nervous to play Arsenal, being the fact that he's under scrutiny for it.
He was fresh from the catnip.
Yeah, and obviously, no. I'll joke aside. I think it's tough because it's a tough defeat. I think some of the fans are already calling for Moyes to step aside. I think the right thing for him to have done was after he won that trophy, the European trophy, I think it was conference, wasn't it? For him to walk away from there from that point. Go leave on a high, give somebody else the job, let's see what they do with it. Because how far can West Ham really go? You know, effectively you got a good stadium, you got some good players. Paqueta's going to probably end up at City for like 70, 80 million pounds. I
mean, they started well, but they do this, don't they? They start well and then they drop.
Yeah.
Then they come back a little bit and then they drop. Then they have a game like they had on the weekend and you're just like...
Do you know the last time you made that comment, that very same statement, you said you was talking about a team, do you know who you were talking about?
Us. Oh,
anyway.
Man.
The shade. The shade.
I think it was in that time where like Madison was out and stuff. You guys were like a little ballooning up and down.
She was like, this is what Tottenham do anyway. They start good and then they drop.
I mean, it's true. They were top.
That's the one she's bitter for.
They were top of the. What the?
It is the history of the Tottenham, but
the one that you robbed us, yeah. But they were top of the league, and now they're what, 5th?
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I guess she's improved, right? Anyway, back to West Ham.
I give it that one.
So as I said, Manchester City will come in the summer and try and take Paqueta. Shout out to Slims because obviously James Ward-Prowse is a great player, but you know, couldn't grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Couldn't control the midfield. Couldn't link passes. Couldn't get no. But I'm being serious. Like I mean.
Alright, Slims, he's sending for you.
I mean, we're watching. I've openly, and Slims will come back at me, but I'm gonna say it before he does. I've openly said, if you pick a player to play in United's midfield, I wouldn't pick Bruno over James Ward-Prowse because Bruno's a little bit hero, and it's a lot of like too much losing the ball. Sometimes you need somebody who's just gonna. Like I actually shouted. My uncle came upstairs and United were playing Villa. Not to go into this, but I can't remember who it was. I think it was Bruno. And I was like, you can't make 5-yard passes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's mind numbing. But I think that was West Ham's problem. Can't make 5-yard passes. Taking nothing away from Arsenal. Arsenal were brilliant. But West Ham helped them be brilliant because they just didn't stick a foot in. If you're 2-0 down in that fashion, 1-0 down in that, well, yeah, let's say 2-0 down in that fashion, game's getting away from you. You could tell Arsenal are on stuff right now. Kick someone.
Yeah.
Kick someone. I'm against injuring people on purpose, of course.
100%.
But
fight back.
Kick somebody.
Fight back, yeah.
But for me, when you really watch the game, you have those games where you concede 6. You've conceded 6 away and at home.
7.
Vice versa.
7. It was 7.
Like you have those
Hey, we gave Arsenal a 6-1 one time as well.
I mean, facts, innit?
No, she threw.
She threw a shot.
She
but it's
threw
okay.
I threw a grenade.
That one was clean though. That was clean.
If you really watch that game, it's a bad West Ham against a perfect Arsenal. Like if you look at the Strossard goals, if you look at Declan Rice's goals, if you look like these goals, they won't score those goals. They're probably again for the rest of the season. They were hitting fantastic goals.
Yeah.
They were not missing, and then you had West Ham were just lackluster. If you look from the defense, even from Saka's goal, like the defense, that was the pinnacle.
What's the Emerson? Oh,
But that's not,
bro.
That's not just him.
No, but what I'm saying is like, sorry to cut you, but it's like you're setting the tone, right? So he would be the left back, right back,
Left back.
yeah, left back. He'd be the left back. So yeah. So when Saka's come in, I'm thinking to myself, why are you on the outside of him?
Do you know what it was?
I'm like, whoa.
We could. All right, yeah, it was lackluster, but I would like to also think he probably thought, do you know what, Ben White overlap, that might be a problem. But
Nah.
he thought, no, but what it is that his whole body position as a defender was all wrong, because even if you're keeping an eye on the overlap, you haven't said, you've actually completely vacated his space and actually forgot.
And let him
this
go.
is where the danger is, the
Yeah.
center of the pitch, you understand? Like, out wide, yeah, all right, there's a danger of an overlap, but it's not as much as if they go through you, do you understand?
No, but-
he's actually
but-
moved so much over to the left that Saka said, okay.
But let me ask you this
Wham
question.
bam.
Let me ask you this question. If Bukayo Saka has the ball and Ben White goes in overlap, and Ben White gets the ball from the overlap, which one do you think you have a better chance of stopping?
Yeah, Ben White.
So, and this is an elite level footballer. So in my head, I'm like, bro, you go with the guy who's more likely to cause the problem than the guy, because all Ben White would have done was got the ball and then fizzed it, and there wasn't that many people around anyway. So you had enough defenders to probably deal with that ball, cross or along the ground or whatever, right? So that's what I'm saying. For him to be on the outside and watch Saka just run in between, a Gerd had no chance.
Do you know why it's even more crazy as well? And this is why I even feel sorry for Moyes, because Moyes is tactically set up to ensure that Saka didn't have that space, because he put Ben Johnson in front of him. He put
So let me ask you this
another
question.
defender in front of Pemerson to say, all right, you both double up on Saka. It was Ben Johnson the whole game.
But you know what the problem is, though? I think sometimes when you do that, you cut off your nose to spite your face. Because you're taking danger away from what you can do in order to stop what they can do. I always believe that, yeah, of course you should be worried about your opposition, but they should be worried about what you can do. And I think when you put Ben Johnson in front of another fullback, you're basically saying, we're not here to create anything. We're just here to stop him from doing what he does. And once you've accepted that, Arsenal like, cool, no problem, we'll go on the other side. Like, his goal came in the last, well, second to last.
And you guys could have scored probably 4 more.
Yeah.
Do you-
The other guy took the piss.
Do you think though, like when fans leave the stadium that early as well, that it actually affects the players? Because
100%.
to
'Cause
see
you can
that
see it.
many
You
fans
see it.
leave at half
It was a
time.
mass
I
exodus.
didn't see that many United fans leave Anfield. I didn't see that many United fans leave Old Trafford. Not left at halftime. Like, it wasn't a mass exodus. People still stayed.
Yeah.
That stadium was practically empty almost, except for Arsenal supporters.
It was like Moses was at Westfield.
Literally just went.
Moses was at Westfield. I said, yo, deliver. And they all started following.
You know how many people left? This is how bad it was. You know how many people left? They started staggering how they were letting people out. Because if you see the overhead shot that Sky did, there was a group of them on this side, and they were letting everybody walk out that side first, and then they opened the gate from the other. I just said, that's insane. That is insane. So I say, oh, well, we're saying all of that to say this. I just think it's time that West Ham ask Moyes, listen, thank you, step aside. Because I think what summed up that day for me was Declan Rice's reaction to scoring the goal, which of course he wasn't going to celebrate, but his body language was so like, I'm embarrassed that this is happening to you guys.
It was almost like, this is true.
This is bad. You know the ones where you see, this is bad, but I'm going to use this analogy. You ever been in a situation where you see your boy's girl like lips to some next guy in the club, and you're just in a situation where you're like, I got to tell him, but this is bad. Like, it's not smooch. It's not smooch. It's like tongue deep in. It's crazy. It's some drunken sloppy kisses, bro. I'm telling you, it's bad.
Are you trying to show them for Valentine's Day?
Nah, chill out, bro. Come on. No, I live privately. I live privately behind the gate. I'm good.
But honestly, where do West Ham go from here? Because obviously, it's not to say like there is a how can I say, a massive pool for them to pick out when it comes to managers.
I think there'll be managers who want to take that job. I'm not saying it's not the elite. You're not gonna get Jose Mourinho. I'm just saying.
Obviously, there's a tier in between where we are, Tottenham Spurs, and where West Ham are. We're not necessarily
Tottenham and Spurs. You got two clubs yet?
United. Yeah, United and Spurs, right? So
Jude and the Bellingham, bro.
And take them to that level. So, bro.
That's not what even killed me. Do you not see what he did there?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a tier there.
Yeah, where we are.
Where we are. I know your game, bro. Same boat.
Obviously, the Serbia has come and take Brighton, and now I believe Brighton is competing to try and.
They've had a terrible season, though.
They've had a terrible season, but bro,
so far
balling out and. Like literally.
Oh, you only say that because you guys beat them. You only say that because you guys beat them.
Trust me, Brighton. That was not. Even though
it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
Look at the stats here. The stats look like Tottenham dominated. We did not. They were popping us. And you have to look at. This is a Brighton that's been stripped from the past 3-4 years, and they're still trying to compete at that level.
But I think the problem is this. Sticking to what you said about managers going to that club, going to West Ham. I think they'll have the pick of decent level managers at a let's say like a mid-table kind of rate, but managers who are probably waiting for that move to a club that they can kind of maybe rebuild and in their image. I think the problem is for West Ham now is, where did the £100 million go for Declan Rice? You know, where I mean, I don't know what the installments are with that, but you know, this money's coming into the club. You just lost like your best player, probably top 5 DMs in the Premier League. How do you now? Because let me Edison Alvarez not good enough.
No, do you know what? I disagree. No.
I like him as a footballer. Hold on. Let me be clear. I like him as a footballer, but I'm saying I don't think he's good enough. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if you look at how Arsenal were getting through, like the midfield's not good enough. I'm not let me just blame him, but
guys, in the sense of like he's not a good.
He's a good footballer, but I just think that when you get £100 million for one guy.
So you tell me you take him out?
No. I would. Yeah. No. For real talk, we're acting like the recruitment from Moyes with that money was spot on. Let's not act like Edison Alvarez. He bought Alvarez and Kudus with that money.
And what have they done?
What do you? They have been sick for West Ham.
So why did they get slapped 6-0?
Yeah, because that's a bad day at the office. That wasn't a Moyes performance. That was not a Moyes performance.
Hold on, sorry. What's the Moyes performance?
Definitely not getting done in by every other set piece that happens.
Let me ask you this question.
Definitely not fighting.
Let me ask you this question.
This is a guy that championed Fellaini.
Let me ask you this question. You're saying this about Moyes' performance. I know what he's trying to do there. Come on.
No.
His name is, and by the way, his name is Scott McTominay now. The point is that
he bags.
The point that I'm trying to make here is I get what you're saying, but bro, like, what's a top level David Moyes performance? Not conceding from set pieces, scoring from set pieces.
All right, coming from an Arsenal's perspective, remember West Ham have beaten us twice this season.
Okay,
just putting it out there. They beat us in the league. They beat us in which is it? League Cup, League Cup. And even on those performances, both times Arsenal had most possession, but what they did is they defended well and they hit you on the counter.
So let me ask you a question.
That's classic Moyes. They got Kudus running around one wing, Bowen's been playing up front, I think maybe their lack of focal point is hurting them.
You know
now.
the truth is
Missing Antonio.
Paqueta and Antonio wasn't playing.
Oh, Antonio. Yeah, but Antonio is another one. Like, he'll go one season scoring bangers, and then the next season you forget he even plays for West Ham.
Yeah, it's true.
And they don't have a backup striker.
And this is my point.
No, they tried. Moyes tried.
No, but this is my point. It's him. It's not them. You're telling me you brought Scamacca from having one of his best seasons into your club and he couldn't fit?
I can't lie to you.
The tactics have to evolve.
Yeah,
the style has to evolve.
No, he's truck, but he's truck. No. This is why it's mad, because in one breath, Zeke was saying, right? Oh, Zeke was saying you've moved away from what Moyes is used to, and you bought all these ballers. That's not what was working for you last time.
Yeah, but
he got Paqueta in. Kudus, Scamacca, Edison Alvarez, all these guys that play football. So it's not without like he's not trying to
make it work. But he still plays the same way.
He still couldn't make it work.
They still operate the same way.
So what?
It's still swashbuckling down the wing, cross the ball.
And
There's no. They play nice stuff sometimes, and I agree. I'm not saying they play shit football. They don't. But the tactics, you can't get Scamacca into the team scoring goals. He's a tall striker. The thing you do the best isn't working. So what do? You elevate. He found no way to elevate. Scamacca's not going off somewhere else. The point that I'm trying to make is
running either.
No, of course not. But remember, that's gonna happen when you bring a striker into a league where
we got two.
Who's that? Ndogi and
our goalkeeper.
Right, and Ndogi's the first one.
But I just feel like as well they've not ever had a backup to Antonio.
No, of course
Antonio
not.
isn't a good striker. How many goals?
I don't think he's okay. So I'm not going to say he's not a good striker. What I'll say about Antonio is he's not the elite of the elite. But West Ham are not going to be able to attract the elite.
Do you remember when Antonio used to play right back in that?
Yeah. No, he's had a fantastic career. He's had a fantastic career. But what I'm saying is that it's not that he is. He's like in that Troy Deeney mode, and that's not to take the piss out of him. Because I think they're both very good players. I just think that West Ham, we keep hearing, and there's certain like clubs in this bracket, we keep hearing we need to push to that next level. We need to be challenging for the Champions League and so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, how are we going to go about doing that? How are we going to elevate the players, the ability? Because you can buy all those players. What does it mean?
So what you're saying? They've got the personnel, but
the manager needs to change. I think he's gone as far as he can. There's no shame in that. He's gone as far as he can, and I think the players need new identity. West Ham need a new identity. There was a time when West Ham was cooking back in the 90s. Cooking. Joe Cole and Rio Ferdinand, they were cooking. They used to play very attractive football. It's kind of got a little Brexity, and I'm trying to figure out what they do best. Because now it's almost like you brought James Ward-Prowse just so he can take free kicks, just so he can deliver set pieces, just so you can score on set pieces. Outside of that, what do they have? Because Declan Rice is gone. So what's West Ham's thing?
Jared Bowen.
Jared Bowen. And if they're not playing well, the rest of that team.
And that's exactly what it is.
Don't be surprised if Bowen's not there.
I think that Liverpool at some point.
100%.
Don't be
I reckon he's only saying that because of who his Mrs. Dad is.
I say that. I say that. But now Klopp's going. I don't think the next manager will go for Jared Bowen.
No, if it's well, it depends. If it's someone like Xabi Alonso,
You go for Moyes.
You go for Moyes.
absolutely not. Piss
Bro,
off.
let's just face it. Let's face it. Yeah. You see, Moyes.
You know what you said? I was about Moyes as a player. That's what.
1 minute.
Sorry,
Let's face it, bro. Moyes is in the same bracket as Sam Allardyce as a manager.
No.
You know what? You know what's so sad?
Borderline.
You know what's so sad? I actually agree.
Yeah, borderline.
You know why I agree. And it's not because it's not because I don't. It's not because I think. It's not because I think they're the same bracket, but you know what it is? I think David Moyes is the last of Mohicans. I think genuinely. I think David Moyes. That's the best analogy. David Moyes is the last of that breed where they do that thing.
Okay.
Like, and then after him, it'll be Sean Dyche. It's like they're the last of those British managers who play that one way, and it's just like, bro, like, how long are we gonna do this before we go and get a Spaniard? You know what I'm saying? Like, we go get an Italian or something. I think they did try Italian, but like, how long are we gonna do this till we get somebody who could probably change the culture at the club, the style of the way we go through.
No, don't say us. You get me. We got our Potters and our Eddie Howe's. Don't worry about
our what?
Our Potters and our Eddie
Howe's.
No, Look, listen,
He's had his chance.
Chelsea's
He's
rotten.
had his chance.
Chelsea's rotten.
He had his chance.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We're not. No, you're not gonna shit on my manager on this podcast every week, and then we're gonna come out and say, "Oh no, Chelsea are rotten." Like they're not more rotten than Chelsea.
There's one more Mohican.
Who?
Roy Hodgson.
Yeah. Moving on.
Roy.
Moving on.
Bro,
So
every game is a testimonial for that guy, you know.
every game's a testimonial.
Poor Roy. He just stands on the sidelines, not quite sure what's going on anymore.
You know what? I swear to God, he looks like. Why am I still here? Like, what's going on?
How has no one sacked me yet?
I was only supposed to be here for 6 months.
Palace are absolutely taking the
Yeah, they're taking the piss.
They are, and their
They're
fans are
piss.
taking the piss
Well,
too.
who's the owner? John Textor. He's a waste man. Not gonna lie to you. Let me tell you, like straight up and down, because like you've lost Zaha, one of the most influential players of your club. All right, he moans, he groans, whatever, but Zaha was Mr. Palace. Let's not.
He went to Manchester United and went right back to
Yeah,
Palace.
John
He could have went to anywhere else. He went to Palace.
Yeah, do you understand?
He wanted
So,
that move.
You know that's a big loss. Where was the effort to say, do you know what, actually, do you know what, we need to get someone of that ilk?
It's because they lost him for free and they don't have any money.
No, but to be honest, not
Why
to
was that allowed to happen?
But Kels, not to disagree
because
with
they
you.
kept outpricing him to Arsenal.
Not to disagree with you, yeah, Kels, but I do believe they lost Zaha, but basically they've got Eze and they got
Injured.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Injury prone
No
players.
Olise, no Eze, no Party. They get battered. And that's what it is. Okay, on Monday they had a good resilient performance against Chelsea, but Chelsea dominated that game.
You know, every time I think about
Chelsea
Crystal
had probably
Palace.
what 80% possession.
Yeah.
So they basically just hanging on for their lives, and they got battered in the extra time. But you're talking about a London team, and one thing about London teams here is that they play good football, except for West Ham. You look at Brentford, you look at Fulham. At times they play good football. Compared to West Ham,
I hear it. West Ham supporters are going to hate us.
Shit.
Bro.
Bro, West Ham play the worst football in London.
You think so?
Deep it.
In London?
In London, deep it. Who plays worst football in London?
Consistently. Because I was going to say Chelsea are pretty awful.
No, bro, but
Yeah.
you should have watched the game on Monday.
In the Prem.
No, I did. In the Prem.
In the Prem, we're talking.
We're talking about in the Prem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you-
Obviously, if you have to compare teams, you have to go as far as Leighton Orient. That's just my
And
opinion.
QPR, yeah.
I'm just trying to think.
PPR.
Like I'm trying to fight that comment, but I'm trying to think.
You can't. You
Yeah.
can't play good football.
Yeah.
Thomas
Frank. West Ham job.
West Ham job.
That's
David
actually,
Moyes?
That's
Watford
actually.
job.
That's actually. No,
But on Palace.
No, but
So no. I would say Palace play worse football than West Ham.
they don't.
I would say they do.
I mean,
they don't.
You just said it. No two players, no party.
But we're talking about even with their players, with Eze and Olise, they are balling out. They do not play worse football than West Ham.
I'm not gonna
With
lie.
West Ham will have all their
I put
all
the-
their players.
they-
Nah.
they
you got
might
to look
be
at the
here
Premier
for me.
League
They
table
might
for
be
that
here for me.
because West Ham are here and Palace are here.
I'm not
So
there. West Ham are under my shoe right now.
He said my shoe.
All right,
my
Palace.
shoe.
Palace. I hear you. I actually hear you. I get you.
I don't agree on the worst football thing, but I
Nah.
do hear what you're saying.
I don't know, man. I just think like I didn't even realize Will Hughes was still there. What is he good at? But anyway, Will Hughes, all them man.
Well,
like,
you know, every time I think about Crystal Palace, I think about Will Hughes being that midfielder who's surrounded by all those black players. Remember that meme? Yeah, but you know what it is? Honestly, I just think Palace's biggest problem. Well, not biggest problem. Yeah, no, biggest problem. Palace's big problem is that they have this like identity of like almost playing like this really attacking, like high energy football, but
they don't have personnel.
I don't think it's a personnel thing. It's almost just like Vieira had an idea, and then when it stopped working, they sacked him, and then it was like instead of Palace even just thinking, you know what, we're gonna go and just try something new, like we did with Vieira, they went right back to the old thing.
But even
so you deserve what's happening to you.
100%. But that's why I texted an idiot, because even if you've said, all right, Hodgson, stay this shit for 6 months. You should have been gone in the summer. There should have been a plan to say, all right, you know what? We're gonna get Palace. This is the long term plan for 3 years. Whatever the case may be, we're gonna bring in this person. We're gonna bring in that. Even if you brought in flipping Paul, I would have been actually, do you know what?
That would have been, and you know what's so crazy about that? That would have been at least Potter's left Chelsea. I don't know if Potter wants a break or anything like that. That would probably be a stressful job in itself, but that would have been probably a smart move at that point.
Yeah.
Do
I reckon
something.
he would have been able to do something.
But even now, you can do it now. It's not. It's not like you can't do it.
So for me, when it comes to Crystal Palace, it's literally down to the management. It's down to the manager himself. Because if you look at that team, they got internationals, and they got internationals which are pushing through to their first team. So you got Eze. Eze will soon be a first team player coming off the
If he
bench.
can stay fit.
If he can, that's a big thing. Same if only say
he can stay fit.
they got Anderson at the back as well, right?
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the best.
He's a good centre back.
One of the best diagonal passes of that ball in the. No, honestly, from a defender.
No, I know. You level somebody with that skill. It's
Like he is sick.
he can switch the play.
No, honestly, but that's
I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying it's funny.
But now that's the thing for defenders. I think that came in like a good couple of years ago, where now defenders had to be able to hit a diagonal.
Yeah.
So when you look at their assets, when you look at their team, they got Guy as well coming.
Yeah,
to the
Mark
England.
Gahey,
Like you got Gahey. My apologies for the mispronunciation, but it's down to management. You've gone back to the old
style.
The old style.
Yeah.
Vieira was
Old
there until
templates.
he's sick with him. What you seen there is still Vieira, in my opinion.
I think.
I hear what you're saying.
I agree. I'm just looking at the talent, and I'm thinking in some areas, okay, cool. As you said, Joachim Anderson, Mark Gahey, Eberechi Eze, Olise, fine, cool. But then you've also got
Decore is good as well. Decore is good as well. The midfielder.
Oh, Decore.
I like Decore.
And do you know what? Juice is Tyree Mitchell. I'm not going to say he's going to be the guy that's...
No, but he's good.
He was good, but
He's
still
decent. He's consistent.
Yeah.
He's consistent. He's like... He reminds me of Gary Neville.
But then you have, as you said,
Yeah.
AU,
Mateta,
yeah.
all them man there,
Those were goals.
Nathaniel
Edouard.
Klein.
Klein, all them guys.
They need to go.
What's going on?
They need to go.
But you know what it
What's
is.
going on?
But you know what it is. That's like
Mateta's a waste man.
No, but it's like players who are actually going to be here and play versus us being able to attract players and what the budget is. They're not going to have the same amount of money. They're not going to be able to get.
I don't hear it. They're a London club.
But I feel like getting in an older manager.
Good recruitment.
But what I'm saying to you is, I hear what you're saying. That's not the same thing when it comes to Tottenham, Arsenal, so on and so forth. Chelsea. When Palace are a London club, yes, but it's Crystal Palace. No disrespect to them. At the end of the day, the big market is the clubs I just mentioned. And you're not going to get, unless, like, why is Nketiah not going to Crystal Palace? Because he knows he's going to play week in, week out. He knows, but why the hell would I go from Arsenal to Crystal Palace?
Yeah, no,
that would be his mindset.
Yeah, but they're
not gonna get European football. They're not gonna win trophies.
I don't think Nketiah would leave to even go Tottenham, regardless of the rivalry. We're talking about levels. We're not talking about the rivalry. Arsenal are looking to try to push
Win
and
the
win.
Prem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to leave that. That's
No,
so
but my argument is this.
I get your example,
Yeah.
but almost that example threw me off.
No, but what I'm saying is that Crystal Palace is in London. He didn't have to move house that far. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna play week in, week out without fail.
I hear your thing.
But I'm not going to Palace to do that. That's the mentality. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's fine, but it's on Palace to be doing a lot of this stuff. So I'm gonna get you sent on because Brighton's come up from the Championship. Was it 3-4 seasons ago? And even though they get stripped of their talent, they still continue.
Understatement.
Who's the guy that just that's popping up? What's Aj? His name begins with A.
Well, that CM. That what does he play? On the right, sorry.
Yeah,
on the right. I know. I remember.
Anyway, it's like they're churning out talent, left, right, and center. Like your scouting network is brazy.
Yeah,
Do
but
you
who's
understand
your
what I'm saying?
manager?
Like, what's going on? You made a club come up and surpass you effectively.
Who's your manager?
No, that's fine, but it also goes deeper than that. It's the club as well.
No, it does. But again, when
Did you even know John Textor was the owner of Crystal Palace? Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, no, I've heard of him. But what I'm saying to you is that if I had to choose between managers, Roy Hodgson or De Zerbi, I know who De Zerbi is.
Yeah.
Not saying Roy Hodgson doesn't have an illustrious career, but what I'm saying is that I can see on television the difference between the two.
Yeah.
So when I'm picking in my head, if both clubs come, De Zerbi plays great football.
He's old school, isn't he? He doesn't know the new tricks. He would never be able to go in and do what Jurgen does with the high line. He wouldn't even know how to think of how to do the high line. He's old school. He's going to go back to the way
properly,
defend, attack, the 4-4-2, the
But
standard.
also, to say to what you're saying, I also think that's why Fergie and Wenger got out the game. Not because they couldn't match, but I think they started looking at what Pep was doing at Barca and thinking, it's getting away from us.
Yeah.
I don't think
We
Wenger,
played
I don't think
4-4-2.
Wenger had that problem.
No, hear me out.
He didn't, but
He didn't, but what I'm saying is that it was, we play 4-4-2. This is what we do. United started to change that to 4-3-3. But again, Pep, did something at Barca that a lot of teams weren't doing. The style was different. So I say all of that to say that when you look at Roy Hodgson, as Sinner just said, and looking at the tactical know-how, Fergie wouldn't be able to match. Wenger wouldn't be able to match Pep right now.
No,
they just wouldn't.
It's a different time.
It's a different time. And I think Hodgson's stuck in that time. That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
That's what Sinner said.
I get that.